Welcome to Art Ed Radio, the podcast for art teachers. This show is produced by the Art of Education University, and I'm your host, Tim Bogatz. I think we're in the middle of about 6 straight weeks of brand new guests on the podcast, and I think you're going to love today's guest. Caitlyn Thompson made her first appearance at the Art Ed Now conference back in July, and she was an instant hit. She's just a lot of fun. She has an engaging and magnetic personality, and she does some amazing things with her kids. So my goal for the podcast today, more than anything, is just to let you get to know her. Okay? We will talk about her teaching, her own art making, and let her share a lot of the things that she loves to do in her classroom. And I don't want to spoil any of that, so we are going to just jump right in. She is ready to go, so let me bring her on right now. All right, and joining me now for the first time ever on the podcast, Caitlyn Thompson, a.k.a. Coach T. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Tim. How are you?
I am great. We've had a couple weeks in a row now with new people on the podcast. I love that. And I guess since you are new, we need to start with an introduction. So can you let everybody know a little bit about you, where you teach, the art, anything else that you want to share?
Totally. I am Caitlyn Thompson. I do indeed go by Coach T because I don't feel like a Mrs. Thompson. I feel like it's too, I don't know, it's just not me. But yeah, I teach in Natick, Massachusetts, but I live in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Shout out to all my commuters out there. And yeah, that's me.
Very nice. Now, I know people loved your presentation at the Art Ed Now conference back in July. That was something that really got a lot of people talking. So I need to ask you about your topic for that, paper pottery and magazine pottery. Can you give us a quick description of, what it is and the process you use to make it?
Yeah, well, I want to tell you the origin story. Is that all right?
Please do. I love stories.
Oh, fabulous. All right. So my first year of teaching, I was hired about 5 days before the year started. And 12 days after I actually started, I was I was pulled to mandatory jury duty for 6 weeks. So during that time, I had to prepare a lot of lessons and figure a lot of stuff out. So it was in October-ish. And I was looking through pictures of awesome pottery strategies that didn't involve clay because we don't have kilns at the elementary district level in my district, So I love paper, as we've chatted about before. I do indeed love books and paper. So I was like, well, how can I get this 4th grade level in? And what I did is I saw this beautiful square magazine bowl, and I thought, maybe I can figure this out, but maybe not a square. I figured out how to make certain folds and tricks and made a little circular puck, and I was like, all right, we're somewhere. Molded it up and made my most magnificent magazine cup I've ever made. And then I thought, 4th graders can't do this. This is way too complicated. So I figured out, okay, newspaper. Got a lot of newspaper next to me here. And I decided, all right, there's no folding involved there. I can just cut these strips of newspaper and roll it and coil it into these little pucks. And you just keep going around and around, as big or as little as you want. And it's really satisfying to push it through and you get this beautiful bowl or cup. And I was like, all right, got something here. The kids are going to dig it. And thus newspaper pottery was born. And actually paper pottery came to me from a student. He was like, hey, Ms. Thompson, do you think I can use construction paper strips? And I went, of course you can. And thus paper pottery was truly born.
Nice. I love it. And I don't know, you get such good results from that. And, I tried it with my own kids at home, and we actually did it at AOE headquarters too, just because it's so much fun. But it is such a simple process. It's time consuming, but you get to create these amazing things. So, do kids usually have pretty good reactions to building those?
They do. In the beginning, it is a frustration game of sort of training your fingers to move in that certain way. So fourth grade is
Right.
the youngest I would go with this. But I'm a big growth mindset promoter in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I go
Mm-hmm.
by Coach T. I'm there to like coach you through those hard moments, build those art muscles, make them stronger. So I will lead into newspaper pottery saying, this might be frustrating at first, but I need you to
Mm-hmm.
use that frustration as fuel, build them art muscles. Your little fingers are working in ways you never thought they would before. And after the first maybe 2 weeks, 2 classes, typically everybody is feeling pretty successful. And I'm there to guide, and we're all there to help each other. So,
Yeah, that's really cool.
success rate is high.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it's something that we're looking for, especially if, yeah, like you said, it's a process. They can learn a lot, then that's really worthwhile. I also wanted to ask you, though, I know you were into bookmaking, which a lot of teachers don't do, and honestly don't know how to do. I've never been trained in it. Like, I never taught bookmaking. But can you tell us, why you love doing bookmaking, why you think people should teach it? Maybe, just some ideas of what you do in your classroom with it?
Sure. Well, first and foremost, for me, books, it's an instant artifact. You get to create something, then you get to hold it and you can use it. And it's just absolutely fabulous to be able to hold something and touch something that's solid that you made. I feel like when I go into museums and I see artwork on the wall, I'm like, I want to touch it, but you can't touch it.
Yes.
But with books, you can touch them. And for me, when I learned bookbinding in college, I saved it for last. It was my senior year. I had been doing photography for several years, but the tactile experience was just, it opened a whole new world for me. So I actually went to a trade school, North Bennett Street School. If you don't know it, you got to look it up. It's an education in hand craftsmanship. It's absolutely a fabulous place to learn and grow. So for 2 years, I sat at the bench learning how to make historic structures and then learning how to take them apart. And then you learn the leather, awesome design bindings. And again, what it all comes back to is that you can hold it, you can touch it, you can use it. The book doesn't just have to be a vehicle for text. It can be a vessel for your artwork. It can be an altered book. It can be a sculpture. So especially when you start them in the class, which I actually don't do too often. When my first teaching job was to teach bookbinding to middle school students, and I am slowly working it into my elementary level. But what was incredible about it is that these students get to create something that's theirs. Now they have the knowledge how to do it, and they can just keep making more and more and more. And with teachers, the first thing I would recommend anyone start with is your covers, because you can do anything. You can talk about color theory. You can talk about lines and shapes and patterns, and you could do a landscape. It could be a self-reflection piece. Your cover's where you start. And then I'd say, folks, just go for a 3-hole pamphlet. Just 3 small holes, little bit of thread, a blunt needle. Blunt needles, can't recommend enough. No sharp needles. But in all my time teaching, we've never had any incident with the awls we would use to punch holes. But there is a requirement. When you're using an awl, you have to burst into song, Mariah Carey, at least once during your bookmaking experience. But for those who are afraid of needles, a handsome accordion is just so delightful.
Nice. I like that. No, that's a lot of good suggestions of, ways to get started, which I think, when you're trying something new, it can be a little bit intimidating. So yeah, just some basics is always good. So I think people appreciate that. I also wanted to talk to you about social media. I know you're on Instagram. You have a pretty good following on social media. You're active there. Can you talk about how that kind of helps your teaching, or what role it plays in your teaching, I guess, and, what you get from your interactions on social media?
I get nothing but joy, Tim. Oh my goodness. I love the Instagram community. They're my favorite people ever. At first, I was just suffering from that Lonely Island syndrome we all suffer from, and
absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's just, I was like, man, I want more friends. Because, art teachers, we're a rare breed of people. So first and foremost, it was to connect with other educators, but really to nurture my path as an educator, because being stagnant is my worst fear. My brain moves a million miles an hour. So to have a community and tribe in which I can receive constructive feedback, share ideas, just make new friends is incredible for my practice, because I love learning, and it's kind of hard to learn on my own. That's why I'm really into like coaching and mentoring. And so you hear me talk a lot about coaching. My second biggest passion in life is weightlifting. So it's all about building and growing. And that to me really, really goes with building and growing your community and your close-knit group of folks. So the friends I've made there have just been so inspiring and delightful and cheery and just lovely. And we've done art exchanges. I learned how to make different kinds of art, and I'm inspired to try new things just because I see all of these folks doing it. And I'm like, I could try that too. I could be brave. Yeah. If we're telling our kids to be brave, have growth mindset, it's really important for me to practice that too. So I was like, all right, I can text. I can type. Instagram is for me for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can just really hope that I can be what others are for me, because meeting y'all in March at the NAEA was the most fabulous experience of my adult life so far. Just meeting a bunch of celebrities. I was like, it's Tim Bolcats and Cassie Stevens. Oh my goodness.
No, it's fantastic. Like, I love, like you said, just being able to make those connections. And you see all these people that you've been talking to online, then you finally meet them face to face. Like, it's such a cool feeling. And I don't know, I always run into people and I just, you want to just like word vomit on them. Like, you've inspired me with this and this and this, and I love these ideas about it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's something that's really cool.
I feel very lucky to have been welcomed into this community by you awesome people.
Well, I don't know that we're necessarily gatekeepers for anything, but I think that our teachers are just very welcoming by nature. And I feel like we do a good job of propping each other up and supporting each other and sharing ideas, which I'm not sure if that happens a lot of places. So I definitely love that. Now, I also wanted to ask you about making your own art. I know you do a lot of that. So can you talk a little bit about what you make and why it's important to you to just kind of consistently be making your own art and consistently be creating?
Well, what I create definitely depends on the time of year.
Okay.
Because fall time is when I really delve into crocheting. I don't know if folks might consider that an art form, but I do. It's creating. Any type of creating to me is an art form.
Well, anytime you're being creative, anytime you're making something that is worthwhile, like, no two ways about that.
Mm-hmm. And, well, as you may or may not have noticed, I tend to be a fast-paced human being. My brain does go very quickly, and I find that when I am creating, whether that's crocheting or working with alcohol inks, that's what I'm really into right now as well. Alcohol inks, fluid art. Oh, and the best part is I've taught this to adults now, and the common thread is, ooh, you really don't have to be a quote-unquote artist to do this.
Right.
Like, yes, but you are an artist. You're a creative being. But for me, what it comes down to most is finding peace of mind. Crocheting, bookbinding, it's meditative. I can do it quickly. There's an end result that I can touch and use. And that's pretty spectacular to me. And I got into this to have that peace of mind and body. So it's important to me to have those creative outlets. And I do it. It's the only time where I'm actually quiet. I rarely listen to music. If I'm crocheting, I'll have, TV, Netflix, whatever's good on Netflix and HBO, So that's what I've been making. I love watercolor minis. That's a new thing. Every year I try to make a new month-long challenge. Last March it was watercolor minis, and I did one of those every day. Because for I always mention the fall. It's because the farmers market comes up, and for the past 4 years, I've done the farmers market where I sell my stuff, and it's lovely to just get out on a good Saturday and be like, hi, you crochet? No, you knit? Oh, I can't knit, but I can crochet. Ain't that a doozy? And it's just fun to just chat about people, like saying, hey, you made this? Yeah, I made this book. I made this painting. I'm a real person and I do stuff. You can too.
Yeah, that's really cool. No, and yeah, like you said, those conversations are totally worthwhile. And I don't know, if you can be inspiring for somebody, then that's a wonderful thing. And then lastly, and maybe this fits in with the inspiration category, but do you have any, words of support or encouragement to try to get teachers to try something new? Whether they want to do some paper pottery or bookmaking or something else they haven't done before. And why do you think it's important to bring new ideas to the kids in your classroom? Why do you want to share those, new experiences with them?
That's a great question. Words of encouragement. Oh man. The first thing I think of is relationship building.
Yeah.
How important it is for us as art educators to build really authentic, positive relationships with the students we're teaching. And the first step there to me is empathy. We're their role models. We're supposed to be modeling this growth mindset and willingness to try new things. So if we're not practicing that in real life, can we really be effective and or convincing to our littles or bigs, I don't know, whatever size student you teach, just to be authentic and genuine for them? I think it's really important to practice what you preach, essentially, which is why I bring up muscle building so much in the art room. The kids really, really get into it. Last year, Sarah, Art Room Glitter Fairy, she taught me the art room mantra. And I have found myself not only using that in my classroom, but I've changed one bit to we are strong, I am strong. So I think a willingness to try something new and embrace that discomfort right alongside your students is incredible for them to see. You're trying, and maybe you fail. Maybe you don't get it the first time, but you try again, try again. Because what if I think what stops so many from trying something new is that fear of failure. What if I try really, really hard and I still don't get it? That's really hard. And I'm really, really, as much positivity as I throw out there into the world, or at least try to, I'm such a harsh self-critic. I'm very brutal. And that's something that I'm working on. But just don't be afraid. Just try. Because when was the last time you tried something for the first time? And then that's a Tough Mudder line. Oh man, I totally stole that. But when was the last time you tried something and then somebody said, oh man, never. That doesn't happen. People are usually good job, good for you, know? So I just feel don't be afraid. Just find the tribe that's also in that boat and just form a little happy family of we're trying and we might be failing together, but we're trying together and it's great. Yeah, and it's just be a shark. Keep moving, cue shark baby.
we can not cue Shark Baby, and that'll be okay too.
Man.
No, but
dominated the elementary level last year.
I'm okay staying away from Baby Shark at all times. But no, I in all seriousness, though, I think that's really good advice. And just don't be afraid of failure. You have an art room, you have a safe space to try those things. And, if you can inspire your kids to do the same, I think that's, one of the best things that you can do as a teacher. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. So Caitlyn, thank you so much for giving me some time coming on to converse. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can have you back again.
Thank you so much.
That was a really enjoyable interview. I appreciate Caitlyn's mindset and her approach and what she brings to her students. Just teaching them to have confidence and to be creative and to develop as artists. So go give Coach T a follow on Instagram. We'll put that link in the show notes. And if you're looking for more on the paper pottery that we discussed, that's a great place to see what she's doing there and learn a little bit more about that process. She also posts a lot of visuals with her own work, everything she's creating, what's going on in her classroom, and some awesome Instagram stories. So like I said, go give her a follow. And Caitlyn will also be presenting at the Winter 2020 Art Ed Now conference. We'll talk more about the conference in the coming months, but I can just tell you right now, she is going to have an amazing presentation all about bookmaking and how you can get started on that with your students. We have a lot of great presentations coming. If you want to see what's going on at the rest of the conference, or if you're ready to register for just that amazing day of learning, you can go check it out at artednow.com. I will be hosting as usual, and I'm really excited for the lineup of presenters that we will be rolling out with announcements over the next couple of months. So like I said, go check it out at artednow.com. You can get a good feel for what that conference is all about. And if you've not been before, it is definitely worth your time. All right, that is it for this week. Thank you so much to Caitlyn for telling us how to inspire and help our kids and help them build confidence and the skills they need. So take her advice, run with it, and have a great rest of your week. Art Ed Radio is produced by the Art of Education University with audio engineering from Michael Crocker. Next week, we will be back with art educator and author Liz Byron to talk about universal design for learning. I am really excited about that one, so hopefully give us another listen then. Thank you.